All right, tonight the big one is indeed a big. We're staying on an issue with elections because the Ghana Police Service is fine-tuning preparations ahead of 2016 by meeting some political parties. Now, how would the collaboration between the parties and police help to put an end to vigilante groups who are used as security during elections? Let's listen to the Ghana Police Service.
The country's political atmosphere has remained charged over several events leading to the November polls. Already, a number of lives have been lost and others maimed as a result of political disagreements. These developments has prompted the police service to embark on appropriate operational strategies. The police has held meetings with leaders of all political parties to solicit their cooperation. The Tuesday meeting with the NDC and NPP is a follow-up and the second stage of the dialogue process aimed at averting political violence.
And continuous stakeholders engagement in the sense that we think that when that is done, we will be in a position to know more about what is happening on the ground and be able to know issues before they get out of hand and for us to deal with them and for us to be able to maintain the peace in this country, which has become the envy within the sub-region.
Representatives of the two dominant parties were delighted about the move by the police.
The suspicion that some of us have had with the police from today, or we abandon that suspicion and work closely with you to make sure that sanity prevails.
But I think it's very laudable that in Ghana today, we are exhibiting that the police and the political parties can together ensure that we have a peaceful election. I mean, there's no need for us to exhibit violence on election day because, like you said, the will of the people must prevail. And the only way that the will of the people must prevail is that the political parties must go and sell their messages to the people and allow the people to cast their vote in peace.
The police assured of its commitment at ensuring peace before, during and after the general elections.
Right, so how is this collaboration going to help in ensuring we have a peaceful, credible and fair election? Let me speak to the Executive Director of the Ghana Institute of Governance and Security, David Agbe. He's just joined me on the phone. As David, grateful for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bryce.
David, let's start from here. So this is the police talking about the fact that it is crucial for political parties to ensure adhere to lay down regulations or it will clamp down on vigilante groups. This warning, is it enough or you think the police should take action right from the onset?
Thank you once again, Bryce. I think that the police administration is doing their constitutional mandate to ensure that we have a peaceful environment as far as the election is concerned. And understanding and explaining outbreaks of electoral-related violence is always a very complex issue. So it is a good move that the police administration is doing what we will call drawing the risk map to ensure that they engage with all the political parties to, try to touch on their emotions that they are very relevant as far as the election is concerned. And so their actions and inactions are going to be monitored closely by the police. And so it is a good beginning. This is what we expect our police to be doing for us, such that every Ghanaian will feel more protected and feel more engaged into the electoral process. Because at this point in time, everybody would like to be more engaged. And to be more engaged, we want a very serene environment. We want an assurance from the police that they will be there to provide security for everybody. And so it is a very good beginning. They need to move on to get enough training. I think that the Electoral Commission, at this point in time, need to engage the police administration such that all the police officers that will monitor the elections will be provided with enough training. They need to understand the electoral laws and its mechanisms, such that if anybody is doing what is unthinkable, the police will be able to ensure that they put their foot down to prevent that person from doing what is not acceptable as far as our governance system is concerned.
David, let me pick your brains on this. What about the concerns by some people that the police need not warn these political parties about these vigilante groups? Now, according to the laws of the country, these vigilante groups are not allowed. They should not exist. So if they are, then the police should rather take action instead of warning political parties about these vigilante groups.
You see, right, that is one challenge when it comes to democracy and the respect of rule of law. We've allowed these vigilante groups to get a strong teeth. So it has become very difficult for the police to manage. And this is the time that they're waking up from their slumber and they realize that they need to engage the political parties such that they will be able to break the teeth of these vigilante groups. So it is a good beginning that they are engaging with the political parties that no, you don't need to have this vigilante group. It is the police that has a constitutional obligation to protect life and property. So why should a political party should be having this vigilante group causing mayhem across the length and breadth of the country? It is not good. And our political parties need to learn and learn quickly such that they will be able to call those vigilante groups to order. That the election is meant for every Ghanaian, and every Ghanaian needs to respect laws. We are not in that system that some of us will call a system where there was no law, so everybody behaves the way he wants to behave. Once we now respect that we have a democratic government, what needs to be done is that everybody needs to respect the rules of the game, such that there wouldn't be any mayhem during and after the elections.
Okay.
And so it is a good signal that the police is touching the emotions of the political leaders that no, you've done it, wrongly some time ago, but this time they will not tolerate you to do the wrong thing or to continue to perpetrate the wrong.
Okay.
And so it is good that the police is engaging the political parties, and it is long overdue.
Okay.
Many people
all right.
expected them to
Okay,
do
David.
this for a long time.
David, pardon me for cutting in rudely, but let me shift your attention briefly to an issue before we wrap up our conversation. The Institute of Economic Affairs is suggesting that the Electoral Commission isn't ready for the 2016 elections. And according to them, there are some more work to be done as far as getting ready for 2016 is concerned. That is from the Institute of Economic Affairs. Now, from where you sit, as far as readiness of the EC is concerned, what do you think?
I think that we cannot say authoritatively that the EC is ever ready to ensure a peaceful election at this point in time. Why I'm saying so is that we've all realized what happened during election 2012, and the lessons are there for all of us to learn. What we want the Electoral Commission and the Electoral Commissioner to be doing now is to ensure that they empower the electoral officers. That is the first thing that they need to do. Ability to empower your staff, such that your staff will be able to execute their job and their mandate in accurate form is very much important. And it is not the Electoral Commission alone. The political parties need to be directly involved, including Bright Nanampo. The media houses also have an equal responsibility. The media houses need to be trained, and including myself, David Agbe from Ghana Institute of Governance and Security.
Okay.
and other agencies that are related to the elections. And the police is also a key agency. All the security agencies need to be empowered. All of us need to be more involved, such that we'll be able to learn the electoral laws, the do's and don'ts, such that the electoral commissions will be able to organize a peaceful election. So nobody should put the blame on the electoral commission alone, but all of us are interrelated, and we need to ensure that we all learn and ensure that we help the electoral commission to perform its constitutional mandate.
Okay, so David, finally, you think that we have 10 more months to the elections, and all that you have enumerated can be done in the next 10 months before the elections?
Quite recently, we heard the stories that emanated from Parliament, that Parliament cut the budget of the Electoral Commission, which some of us, we weren't happy about it at all. One of the things that normally triggers some kind of confusion during elections is the budget. It's about finance. It's about funding. And so we expect that Parliament or the government will be able to provide all the logistics to the Electoral Commission, such that we'll be able to do everything that will inure to a political advantage of this country as far as our democracy is concerned. So the preventive and mitigation mechanisms need to be put in place. And to be able to do that, we need to give every resources that the Electoral Commission will require to ensure that we have a very peaceful election in 2016.
David, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for your time tonight. David Agbe is the Executive Director of the Ghana Institute of Governance and Security. They're talking to me about the IEA's calls that the EC is simply not ready for the November polls. And also he had earlier spoken to me about the issue of the police service meeting political parties.